In this video, we're discussing the Pythagorean theorem. This is discussed on the question, it's the third question on the homework that says, circle the hypotenuse in the triangle below. The Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That absolutely must be memorized. Now, this is very easy. Notice this question also says circle the hypotenuse. I'm not going to do that here because that's going to mess things up. But the hypotenuse is the longer side. It's the longest side. The way you find it is you go to the right triangle, and if you go this way, away from it is the longest side of the triangle. And the point is that the longest side always has to be C. So A and B are interchangeable. In this one, I called this A and that B, but you could call this B and that A, or whatever, this A and that B. It doesn't matter. You can mix them up. C, the longest side, must always be C. So in this case, we are trying to find the longest side. So for A, I put 12. Notice the squared came down. For B, I put 9. Again, the square came down. And then C squared comes down because that's what I'm looking for. You can do this and search for an A or a B as well. So if they gave you C and one of these, you could find the length of that too. But this one, you're just finding that. That's the most basic Pythagorean theorem problem. Okay, so this means 12 squared. That's 12 times 12, which is 144. 9 squared is 81. So now you have 144 plus 81 equals c squared. You add them together, you get 225 equals c squared. All right, now this is the part I saved for now because this is a move that looks confusing if it's already done. You need to get c by itself, so you have to do the opposite of squaring something to both sides. The opposite of squaring something is finding the square root. So what it looks like is this. You do the square root of that and the square root of that. Over here, the square root and the square cancel out, and now you're left with c, which is what you want. On this side, the square root of 225, well, that's answerable. That is 15. Okay? So now what you've discovered is that this remaining side is 15 units long. You might ask yourself, well, are they supposed to know all of this math? Well, 225 is really not that hard. They should know all the way up to 12 times 12. 12 squared is 144. They should know that. And then, so then you start going up from there. 13 squared, I think is like 169. 14 squared. You keep going up after that, and if you got to expand and try to find it, you can. Usually it doesn't go much over that. But also a lot of times you do get a calculator for this final move anyway. But at any rate, they should be able to do all of this problem. It's not that hard. But it's completely essential. By the way, while I have you here, the Pythagorean theorem questions don't always say use the Pythagorean theorem. The question will either have a triangle or imply a triangle, and you have to realize that it's a right triangle and you can use the Pythagorean theorem. Very important subject.